really loving this Osho book. It's called The Search, and it's about the 10 tools of Zen. 10 tools? And I just wanted to share about something that he just said. I think the question was, I'm looking for outside validation. How do I stop this? And it's very interesting because this is something that I have, being a person that shares quite a bit, something that I have been very, cautious of or taking notice of, where the desire is probably the wrong word, where the will to share is coming from. Because I guess I'm needing to keep it in check just in case it's from some sort of a validation point. Anyway, so he said that's not something that you can get rid of. It's an awareness that you can become conscious of, and it's linked to the fact that we feel that other people are more valuable than we are, and that their approval means something. And he said, if you can see that every single person was created in perfection, then you will see you need not have approval from anybody, because you are exactly the same as them, and therefore their approval doesn't mean anything to you. Well, it shouldn't. It's just a very interesting way, because if there's one thing that I've sort of come across on this journey, it's the perception shifts are so powerful to be able to change things in our life, because we're thinking, acting, doing, feeling a certain way because we're viewing something in a certain way. And so if we can, and I say we, meaning me, if we can change our perceptional view on how we actually look at something, it has the ability to change the whole thing like that. And it's phenomenal. And I guess that's why I wanted to share, because he mentioned about how, even the Bible says that we are created in the image of God. And then we go through life trying to better ourselves, or trying to learn something, or trying to become someone, when ultimately we are that perfect self already. And it's just everything we've piled on top of it, I guess, that convinces us out of it. And then even then, it's feeling like there's something that has to be done to become who you are, who you already are. And if you look at it in a certain way, pure acceptance and unconditional love has a really, really really strong capability to be able to undo, well, I guess ignite or completely allow you to embrace and bring forward who you truly are, which is divine perfection. But even that is explaining it in a way that we are not that already. But the acceptance of us right now enables us to be that. So the key for me, as I'm seeing, is acceptance and absolute unconditional love for me right now. In every way, everything. Because that's when I don't need fixing. I don't need altering. I don't need reconditioning. Because that love and acceptance will override all of it. Now, the one thing that I see is, I suppose that would be called living in the present moment. Of acceptance, of love, of now. The things that are stopping us, meaning me, from living in the present moment are the things that we may need to look at rearranging, altering, ridding ourselves of. Because ultimately, it's only us keeping us from who we truly are, which is perfection. Perfection. There is nobody above us. There is nobody below us. We are divine perfection from the day that we were created, from that first moment. And it's so interesting because I had this thought too. If you take, for example, the human body and how it works. Sorry, I can't see my back. Are you controlling any of it? Did you create it? Did you have a hand in it? Did you have to make it? Did you have to plan it? I'm not talking about pregnancy and development of, child within womb, because we're not actually doing anything. We haven't done any of it. We haven't done any of it. To create this divine perfection that has the ability to grow and live and love and have emotion and have, it just blows my mind. We didn't do any of it. Yet we then grow up thinking there's something that we have to do to fix who we are. Whoa. Could this whole thing wow, could this entire thing just be a complete illusion? Oh man, there's something unfolding inside my mind right now, or my awareness or something, of just how ridiculous. Oh, wow. Okay, so I'll just try and explain what's happening. Something energetic is happening right now, and it feels like my whole crown, but also probably down to pineal, so it's like here, outwards. And it feels a bit like, just feels like an opening or expansion of some description. So what I was talking about, what was unfolding, was the fact that we have been created all by ourselves, just without any of us doing anything. This whole thing called life has been created by itself, and then we walk around thinking that we have to try to do something to fix it. Oh man, isn't that just incredible? It's really surreal, because it's like just looking around at other people. Oh, Kundalini's going mental. Just looking around at other people and just seeing like everything is exactly how it should be. Everything is just like, oh my God. It's just us thinking that it shouldn't be, or something. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to integrate whatever just happened. But I had another thought too when I was listening to that Osho. What was it? Yeah, so about like, he said not a lot of people are aware of their destiny because they're too busy feeling like they have to do something. Like they've got something to control, or there's something that they have to do to achieve something. And it's, you know, I mean, you can put that in any context, but the point is, it's, to me, I'm really seeing that it's just about getting out of the way. Like, we're so trying to manipulate, plan, construct, force everything on our lives to create something. We are creation. We are creation. We have been created in perfection. So logically, it makes sense that we don't have to actually force anything to happen. We don't have to struggle and fight and push and pull to find our place in the world. We are divinity in human form. We were created as a fucking walking miracle. And then we walk around thinking we have to perfect ourselves. How can you perfect perfection? You can't. You can just stuff it up. But the good news is it's still there. It's still there underneath you. Underneath, well, you could say you, but yeah, it's just, so much is happening. It's so incredible. You're already that. That's just the biggest thing I just keep getting. You're already that. You're already that. You don't need to compare yourself to anybody. You don't need anybody to give you anything. You don't need approval, satisfaction, love, friendship. You don't need any of it, because it's the needing part, the needing that needs to go. Because what I had really came through this morning, which is something that I've always, not always known, but it's becoming more and more concreted in, is that whatever we are needing, it's what we need to give to ourselves. Because until we are whole, we cannot offer ourselves in a non-beneficial way to anyone else. Non-beneficial? It would be hazardous to us to try to offer, give, and offer or give our energy out when we aren't complete. Because yesterday he was talking about in relationships, there's loneliness and there's aloneness. And a lot of times people are lonely, and they're lonely for something to fulfill a void. To fill a void, fulfill a desire, a need, a want. But this is yourself desiring, needing, and wanting yourself. Because if you are really wanting to be, not wanting to be, but if you are a divine union would be two people completely whole. Because when you are completely whole, love comes up uncontrollably. You don't have to want it. You don't have to force it. You don't have to choose who gets it and who doesn't. Because it's a natural occurring happening. Like when you fall in love with someone, you don't really have a choice a lot of the time. Like when you think about your first love or whatever, there's so many different types of love, but like we're misled on most of them. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. But it's like the puberty, like the awakenings. It's all just occurring naturally in this way. But the love, for me, I'm really, really finding has to come from me first. Because I need to make myself whole. And I just said, I need to make myself whole. That's very interesting, Jody. It's more loving and accepting exactly who I am right now, because I am already whole. guys.